So let's go ahead and talk about the deck. First, the Phoenixborn, the all-important Phoenixborn. We're going to be using Leo Sunshadow for this one. Leo has a battlefield of 6, a health of 19, and a spell board of 3. The spell board is a little bit low, yes, I know. But I think it's just enough to make this deck really work because Leo does have two things really going for him. His first one is his ability that's on the card for a side action and a mana die and one basic mana dice. We're going to be able to summon a Glowfinch. Now, Glowfinch is really nice, has unit guard as well as a wall of text, and has last request. Basically, when it dies, your opponent discards one card from the top of their deck. It's a mill ability, and this is a mill deck, so we really like it. Next one we have is next thing we're going to talk about is going to be the first five. Now, like I said, Leo does have two things going for him. We'll talk about the other thing when we talk about the rest of the deck. We got Abundance here. Abundance, we're going to have 3 copies of that. It costs 1 mask to put out and a main action, and it costs a main action and exhaust the ready spell to activate its ability. Now, all player may draw up to 2 cards for each card they cannot or do not take. They take 1 damage. So potential of taking 2 cards. If your opponent does not want to take the 2 cards, they take 1 damage for each card they can't or won't take. Has 2 focus. Focus 1, reduce the damage to your Phoenixborn. Damage your Phoenixborn received by 1, and focus 2 is an additional 1 damage reduction. So if you focus to 2, if you can't draw anymore, you don't take damage, your opponents take damage still. Now, you're going to have a fat hand and your opponent's going to have a fat hand after this, so how you mitigate it? Really easy. We got Summon, 3-Eyed Owl, 3 cards of, 3 copies of that in your deck. It costs a main action, and it costs a main action exhaust and a heart die to play. Now, the 3-Eyed Owl is actually a very nice conjuration. Has memory drain, and basically choose a target player to discard 1 card of their choice from their hand. So they have to discard 1 card of their choice from their hand. Doesn't matter what card, you really don't care. You just want them to get rid of it so they don't have that card to play. So basically the combo here, Abundance and Summon 3-Eyed Owl. You make them draw 1 card, discard 1 card, and if they can't draw draw 2 cards, discard 1 card, and if they can't draw the 2 card, they take 1 damage. Next we got Summon Orchid Dove. Summon Orchid Dove is a conjuration again. It's a bit of double whammy. So let's talk about the card first. You're gonna have 3 copies of that. Cost a main action to play. Cost a main action, exhaust, and heart to activate, and has 2 focus. The first focus is just reduce it from a heart to a basic dice, but the really good one here is focus 2. And focus 2 is you may deal 1 damage to target player Phoenixborn if they do not have any card in their draw pile. If you just completely milled their deck dry with Abundance and they have nothing left, well, now you got Summon Orchid Dove that's going to really punish them for it. So potentially you got 3 copies of this and 3 copies of this. This has a potential to do 6 damage. This has a potential to do 3 damage. So you're doing basically 9 damage per round. And that's in addition to all the other damage you're going to be doing because your opponents can't or won't draw a card. And we'll talk about that. Oh, the other, like I said, Summon Orchid Dove is a bit of a double whammy. Orchid Dove itself has Peaceful Melody. Basically, if they want to attack you or if they want to attack your units, they have to pay 1 basic die in order to do that attack. Now, the way it looks, it's not all that great, right? Well, really wrong. You're basically milling your opponent's dice to attack you. You're taxing them for the opportunity to attack you, and that's just to attack you. They don't know what else you have up your sleeve to after they attack you. So that is a really good ability there, and the ability on the card and the ability on the conjuration, it's which really makes Orchid Dove really sing. Next, we have Open Memories. Open Memories, you're going to have 3 cards, and it costs a heart and a basic die to play as a main action. You may search your draw pile for 1 card and place it in your hand. If you do, shuffle your draw pile. Use this to take whatever card the situation calls for. If you need a reaction, if you need to stunt, if you need to exhaust a really giant creature your opponent managed to put out in the first turn, definitely use it. If you need an ally, there is one ally in this deck. Or if you just need better dice management, definitely take it. But Open Memories, my suggestion is to take Open Memories, to use the one in your first 5 to grab another copy of Abundance. Not likely that you're going to be completely milling your hand, milling your deck completely dry, like to the point you are taking damage, but still you kind of want the insurance. Next we have, well, next one I'm going to give you a choice of what you want in your first 5. Either one of these is going to be in your deck, but only one of them is going to be in your first 5, and there's 2 of each one in your deck. Now, first one is Call Upon the Realms. I like Call Upon the Realms because it changes 3 active dice pool to a side of your choice. So, and if you really don't know what that means, let me just demonstrate for you here. So, you just made that roll. Oops. Okay, let's just clean this up a little bit here. And, well, this actually is a pretty decent roll. Okay, 1 dice too many. Okay, 1 dice too many. There we go. Let's just make it like that so it looks a little bit better. This is a pretty decent roll. I'm able to do everything, but I really want a wolf face. I can just use this on my main action, and I would turn, these 3 into wolves. And that's what that does. Now, that's pretty useful if you didn't get the die you want in your roll. But if you do, but let's say you did get the die you roll, like you wanted on that roll, like that earlier. By the way, I'm never that lucky, so don't worry if we ever play a game together. That was just, I think that was fate laughing at me, because here's a roll that doesn't mean anything. Hidden Power is if you've already spent all your die and you have, let's just say you have those 2 dice left and those are all exhausted. Well, you can use Hidden Power to take whatever die you want and change them to the face that you want, so you can take 2 die and make them wolf faces. Ultimately, it's up to you which one you want in your first 5. I do recommend one of them go into your first 5. So you do have, it's a bit, for me, it's a bit of insurance. Let me tell you, have you ever lost a game of Magic the Gathering because you couldn't get the mana and all your mana is at the bottom of your deck? You kind of want mana insurance. And to me, this is what that is. I know, it's a Magic Gathering Magic, and this is not the same game, but okay, let's just put it out there. There are definitely parallels. So, anyway, let's move on. Next card we're going to play is Anguish. Now, I said earlier, there's 2 reasons why I have, why I like Leo's Sunshadow. One was Glowfinch, and the other one is Anguish, his unique card that he has. And what Anguish does is choose target Phoenixborn. Its controlling player may discard 1 card from their hand if they do not or cannot place 2 wound tokens on that Phoenixborn. It's a hand mill or a damage. They can discard. If they don't discard, they take 2 damage. And you choose 2 of their dice, and they have to move it from their exhaust pool, from the active pool to their exhaust pool. And if they can't or won't, they take another 2 damage. So it's a very powerful card. You're definitely going to want 3 of those in your deck. And to me, it's relatively cheap. It costs 2 basic dice. So it's not like you're going to have to choose, you're going to have to waste a wolf head on it or anything. So that's the other reason why I do like Leo for this deck. Next card, Mind Probe. Basically, look at the top 5 of your opponent's deck, choose one card, remove from the game, and put the other 4 in any order that you want on top of their deck. It's a bit of surgical strike. If you know what your opponent's strategy is, you can definitely use this to just really mess them up for the next couple of turns or the next couple of draws. But if you don't know what the strategy is, you could definitely use this card to try to suss it out from the next 5 cards. But most of the time, we really know what they're going for. Next ready spell is going to be Steady Gaze, and there's going to be 2 copies of that. So, if you're facing down a fat Mayonnaise snake and you know it's going to attack this round, just use Steady Gaze on it and save yourself the grief. There's no point in you trying to defend or wasting... Well, you could use Glowfinch to block it, and that will, make them discard a card from your deck. But if Glowfinch is already dead and you really don't want to use any of your other units, then use Steady Gaze. Or rather, if all your units are exhausted, then use Steady Gaze. Next card, Remorse, and we have 3 of that. They attack you, they take 2 damage automatically. They attack you or your units, they take 2 damage automatically. So you use Remorse and Orchid. First, they already had to spend 1 die to attack. Now, because they attack and they dealt the damage, they take 2 damage to the Phoenixborn. And they have to discard 2 cards if they don't of their draw pile, 2 cards from their draw pile. And if they don't discard those 2 cards, they take another damage. So it's another mill or damage effect. And you have 3 copies of that. I think I mentioned that already. The last card of the deck is going to be Ironworker. Now, Ironworker, we've seen a lot in mill decks, a lot. I've seen it in Victoria decks a lot. But basically is, when it turns comes to play, it has 1 status token at the beginning of every player of your turn. Place 1 status token on the unit. At any time, you could remove all those status tokens and take additional side actions for every single one of the status tokens you removed. Also, 3 copies of that. Now, the reason why you want all those side action is this thing right here. For every wolf head, let's make that look pretty. You get to remove 1 die from opponent's active dice pool to the from their active dice pool and move it to their exhausted dice pool. This is a very powerful ability. It is an expensive ability because it uses your power die basically to play. But if you do have 3 wolf heads, then that's 3 die you just exhaust, and you just use hidden power, so that's bonus. So okay, so you got 2 wolf head, you use hidden power. Those are bonus die that you just used. That's why I like the Ironworker Illusion Magic combo. The other dice that we're using obviously is Charm Magic. Now, let's talk about dice. Obviously, there's a lot of charm cards. Leo uses a lot of charm. If you're playing his pre-made, you use 10 charm die. Now, when I plug this deck into Plaid Hat Games DeckBuilder, this is what it recommends. 6 charm, 4 illusion. I kind of don't like that. Obviously, it's a very safe bet. You play all your cards, but that doesn't leave any wiggle room to use the illusion magic here. Now, the one I really like doing is, instead of the 4 and 6, is the 6 and 4. 6 illusion, 4 charm. That is a little bit riskier because you definitely has that potential to be completely mana screwed, but that's why I do have 2 what I call insurance cards. These 2 insurance cards here. So that should help with dice management a little bit better. Especially if you're not getting the hearts that you want, because this deck definitely relies on a lot of heart. But if you want to play it safe and you still want to take advantage of illusion magic, I'd go 5 and 5. I wouldn't go to the deck builder's recommended setting. I just feel that it's playing it a little too safe, and you're not going to be able to drain your opponent's dice as well as you want. You don't need wolf heads. Your opponents may need snakes. Your opponents may need goat head. Your opponents may need the wolf heads. So that's really all I have to say about dice management. So ideally, this is what the dice settings that I have. So that's pretty much it. I'd be really happy to hear your thoughts. I'd be really happy to hear your comments on this deck. You could leave them in the comments below or contact me at my email, which is going to be in the description of the video. The link to this deck is also going to be in the description of the video. I know my lighting sucks, but I hope you can actually see the cards that are actually out there, that are on the that are out there right now. So hopefully it gets better. Hopefully my lighting gets better too. But this is pretty much it. If you have any other decks that you want me to take a look at, if you have any deck suggestion, if you want to challenge me to try to build a deck using any random thing, definitely let me know. Feel free, again, leave a comment or send me a message through my email. And I'll definitely love to talk to you about that. If you have any decks you want me to feature that, maybe won a regional or won an event, and you just kind of want to know how it really works, I'd definitely look into that. And if you just want to show it off, I definitely love to show it off for you. That is pretty much it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is the first one of, I hope, it's going to be many. I'm going to try to do these videos about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, depending on how my schedule allows. And definitely, guys, really love the game. I really love the community. It's a lot, to me, it's a lot friendlier than some other card game communities that I've played. I've been a member of. But yeah, that's all I got here. And if you have anything else, definitely let me know. Until then, I'll see you next time.